my town, we had a game called the Squid Game.
Roll commercial. Wait, is this on Netflix? What the f do we roll on Netflix? Maybe roll credits that they'll never let you watch unless you take the time to find the resume credits section, when the option should actually be skip credits. And then if I want to watch the f***ing credits, I can, without being hassled by algorithms and Netflix's insane need to get views counted on people didn't want to watch but fell asleep or wandered out of the room. So the thing started anyway, and now Ridiculous 6 has been viewed 300 million times because people can't just watch f***ing credits and make better choices with their follow-up selections. Also, let's address the distractingly American-sounding squid-shaped elephant in the room that's our decision to send the English-dubbed version of the show, instead of leaving it in the much better original Korean. Okay, now that that's addressed, on with the sinning.
It's your mom!
Your mom.
If an attacker cuts through the waist of the squid past the defense, then they are given the freedom to use both feet.
What in the name of all that is calamari are these rules? This is a f***ing kids game? Whatever happened to f***ing tag you're it?
Spectre Royale.
Man, just really leaning into the IP you're ripping off, huh? Why not just give him the first name of battle and be done with it?
If someone on the defense manages to push you outside of the squid's boundaries, you die. That's right. You die.
Over-exaggerating for dramatic effect, right? Right?
Victory!
Vanity or bragging, take your pick. I sincerely apologize if I'm missing some well-known South Korean subspecies of this marine animal, but on what f***ing planet is this a squid? The nose isn't nearly big enough.
Remember? Guyong's birthday is today.
Yeah, of course I do.
The girl whose birthday it is his f***ing daughter. Just thought that was worth mentioning in case his reaction to this news, understandably, had you thinking this person was his ex-wife or Satan.
Please select the amount you would like to
Inspector Royale! Did I use it right? Damn it.
The old woman cares about her granddaughter more than her own son.
And this is surprising to him. In the space of 3 minutes, he's guilted her into giving him more of her own money so he can buy a present for his daughter, harassed her for daring to have a job, and stolen her f***ing credit card. I mean, what's not to love? Choosing to show gambling addiction with people shouting while watching a horse race only to be disappointed their sure bet didn't come through, cliche.
Hey, kid, you okay?
Finding a hole in his jacket doesn't immediately mean it was stolen by this person. Why couldn't it have just fallen out while he was running? I'm being foreshadowed at, aren't I? Also, there's so little contact here, I can't see how she could have possibly sleight of handed her way into cutting open his jacket pocket and grabbing that envelope. Also, gee whiz, she must be the luckiest pickpocket in South Korea. She's just managed to accidentally herself into a huge amount of cash by simply being in the way. There's no chance she could have known that he was going to run through here or bump into her, or which pocket to pick once he did.
Poor thing.
Aww.
Excuse me, sir? You need to stop and pick the prize you want first.
This kid in the web of lies he weaves. These claw machines were crafted as the result of a singular and never to be repeated alliance between Lady Luck and Satan himself. Their goal was to create the most efficient way to suck the soul from a person's body via their wallet, while their disappointed offspring watch on, wishing they had better parents. Its only redeeming quality is that the second you give up, the next f***er that uses it is immediately rewarded, just in case you thought you'd be able to move on and live a normal life. Stop and pick the prize you want first, indeed. This asshole picked a mystery black box when Stitch is right f***ing there, aggressively hugging a child you do not know without explicit consent.
Oh, this? It's a huge mosquito bite, that's all.
I had no idea that mosquitoes even had fists, let alone use them for biting. I know Seong isn't going to win any Father of the Year awards, but why would he not check what this present is before handing it over? Even if it hadn't been a gun, the odds of it being something that his daughter wouldn't care for are pretty f***ing high. It again raises the question, why did he even pick the mystery box in the first place when Stitch was right f***ing there? Holy sh**. Did she just pull the trigger not knowing it was a lighter? I'll give all the sins back if we eventually find out Guyong is the head of the Squid Games.
Hello, sir. Can I talk to you?
Rumor has it it's taken this man many, many years to recruit Seong into the Squid Games as a result of choosing this bullshit approach. Every day, he's had to wait in this train station for hours at a time just hoping Seong will finally miss a train. You've got to feel sorry for him, as time after time Seong would make his scheduled departure and this poor chap would be left to sadly walk home, shamefully hanging his head thinking, nah, next time, that'll be the time that I get him. Just you wait and see.
I don't believe in Jesus.
Hey, you, I demand that you clap your hands right this instant. Wait, was that for saving Jesus or fairies?
Would you like to play a game with me?
Agreeing to play a game with anyone at a subway station at night. This knocked cheese on for all the sometime. Inspector Royale! That's still not right? Damn it.
160 million won owed just to loan sharks. and you owe $250 more to the bank.
Exchange rates and inflation are wild, man. I've spent every other minute Googling won to dollars trying to work out just how screwed Seong is. The answer is very, to the tune of about $350,000. Now I have to sin the show for making me do math in my leisure time. To that end, the remainder of the sins in this video will be converted to Sinwon. With the current exchange rate, that'll be 1,187 Sinwon to each US sin. I've rounded down because the show is pretty great. You're welcome.
Look what I got.
Keon, what'd you do now? You gamble again?
Don't you look at me like that. Didn't.
Compulsive liars.
He got into Seoul National University thanks to me. I used to take him to school when we were young.
There's always that one asshole that manages to ride on the coattails of the successful and claim that their tiny contribution was integral to said success. I mean, it's not like he created a YouTube channel dedicated to pointing out the overused cliches and errors in popular media. Now that would be a contribution worth celebrating.
I got that with money I made getting slept, so enjoy it.
Thing I said to my parents after giving them their Christmas presents I bought with the money I made from my first sex tape somehow makes its way into the episode.
Were you out gambling again?
Of course not.
It's still too early to tell if Seong is an asshole or not, so the director told him to shove as much rice into his mouth as possible just before he starts talking while the audience makes up their mind.
I talked to that young man upstairs who knows the law, and he said that the father has to show the child will have financial support, and when you can prove that, then you can take custody.
But if the divorce is final and the custody has already been decreed, it'll take a lot more than extra money to get the custody overturned. Did he also suggest planting heroin on the mother's person? Because that would have a better chance of working, or so I've heard. I can see why wanting to keep his daughter would motivate Seong to try to win this money, but a one-off cash payment isn't going to convince the courts to give him custody. If anything, it's going to look even more suspicious that this unemployed man who struggles to keep a job down suddenly has a bajillion trillion won to his name. If they're running this gas every time a new person gets in the van, then the other people are just getting re-gassed. How do they ensure they aren't bringing any dead contestants to the game? I'd be questioning the efficiency of this company immediately after waking up in this room. Look at all this unused space. Amateurs. This entire operation looks like it's been kitted out with a bunch of repurposed Pac-Man and Galaga arcade machines.
That scar on your neck. You're the damn pickpocket.
At this point, Seong should be well aware that he has had his clothing and personal belongings taken and that everyone else seems to be in a similar position. So why does he expect this woman to still have his money?
What the hell? Who are you?
Trying to have a tough guy scene when everyone is wearing tracksuits.
You took all our stuff and put us to sleep coming here, and then you brought us to this strange warehouse? Now you're saying you'll pay us if we go and play a few games? You really expect us to buy that?
Did this guy not get the same pitch that Seong got? Okay, the loss of consciousness and sudden change of clothing might have been a surprise, but what did you think you were signing up for if it wasn't this? F***ing night school?
We do not disclose the faces and personal information of our staff to any of the participants.
Except for this guy in charge of recruitment who has the most public facing of jobs, because that guy. Also, if anonymity is so important, why go through the risk and effort of using this recruitment method at all? Judging by this crowd, there doesn't seem to be a shortage of desperate people with debts they can't afford to pay off. Doesn't look like there was any need for this hard sell at all. I think most of these people would have responded to the business card if it was just posted through their door with a note attached saying, "Ring this number for cash." This is now the second occasion of Seong signing a contract with a shady criminal or criminals. Makes me wonder why said criminals are even bothering with said contracts. With contractual consequences that vary from light maiming to death, surely they can't be legally binding. Would have loved to be in this designer meeting. What are you thinking for styles and colors? Well, have you ever thought what MC Escher mixed with Duplo blocks and a little rainbow bright color aesthetic mixed in would look like?
Identity verified.
I actually really like this show, but this sure looks like they're using facial recognition on a f***ing mask that could be worn by anybody. This could be the dumbest f***ing security measure I've ever seen. And I just rewatched Home Alone.
Damn, that thing has a freaking huge head.
Of course it does. It's like 20 feet tall. It has a huge everything.
Stop
Well
with
then,
it, shouts
bet on the
Maxwell.
first one there.
Talking while instructions are being given. I'm just saying when your brain sprays out onto the ground, Slim Shady, I'll be sure to pour a 40 ounce of I told you so in your honor.
Player 324 eliminated.
Why did asshole 324 get the special treatment of having their elimination announced when everyone else in the scene just got mowed down like so many cannon fodder Chitauri? Seriously, how is no one getting caught in friendly fire here? I know most of these people are down on their luck and probably don't have anyone in their lives that would notice their disappearance. But out of the couple hundred dead bodies here, at least some of them have a family member or friend who would care enough to call the police. In fact, the only two people we know so far definitely have people who would give a shit if they didn't come home. And all of them will have disappeared shortly after having a strange meeting involving a game with a person who isn't wearing a f***ing mask. I'm just saying, how do you cover up this many people disappearing over a short space of time, all under similar circumstances without eventually being found out?
Don't look back, just listen.
But he literally just moved his head. So how is Seong not dead now? Do the shooters know he's a main character? We've gone through several rounds of this game now, and I'm f***ing staggered at the dumbasses that are still failing to follow this very simple red light rule as if their lives didn't f***ing depend on it. TV show has time for this automated musical interlude. Next time on Lost.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I have tasted blood before, and that is not it.
I don't believe in Jesus.
That the power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Call that number.
Why?
They make your life fun.
Batman is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Look out, Rita! We're not backing down because we're the Power Rangers! It's morphin' time!
Things have certainly changed around here. I remember when this was all farmland as far as the eye could see. Old man Peabody owned all of this. He had this crazy idea about breeding pine trees.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute.